Hey YouTube family, Mr. Black Mama 305 here with you again. And today we're going to talk about HB 543, which is Florida constitutional carry, meaning that you don't need a permit to conceal carry here in the United States. Before I go ahead and start the video, guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you did. We just got to about 3,100 subscribers, and I'm looking to gain as much subscribers as possible so we can get this channel off and running. So if you like the content, feel free tongue twister. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share the video. And with that said, let's get into the video. All right, so obviously, as you guys telling, we're talking about HB 543, which is Florida's constitutional carry, a constitutional carrier, obviously. And that simply means that you don't need a permit, which you otherwise need before July 1st of this year to conceal carry a firearm. So before we go on, for all the people out there that think that having this being in a state that's as a constitutional carry, you can just go out and carry firearms. If you were denied having a concealed permit, you're still going to be denied. It doesn't mean that, hey, now everybody can carry it. There's a lot of stuff that you need to know about this law before you go ahead thinking that, hey, I can carry firearms. And we're going to try to go over some of those today and just, try to dissect it as much as possible without dragging out the video too long. So obviously our governor is Ron DeSantis, and we are the 26th state to to have constitutional carry here in the United States. Obviously, there's 52 states, and more than half of them have constitutional carry, meaning that you don't need a permit to carry. I've had my concealed carry for quite a while now. And for me, it works out great for me because now I don't have to renew after every 7 year and pay that $100 whatever dollars, so that's awesome for me. But there's a little bit more to it than just paying a fine and renewing every 7 years. We want to get into the do's and don'ts and what you can and can't do with Florida constitutional carry. So let's get into it. So obviously, this is Bill 543 that was introduced by Governor Ron DeSantis of this year. Oh, I think of this year. Yes, I think of this year. No, I'm sorry, of last year. And it finally went into effect July 1st, which is like 5 days ago, because this video just posted on July 6th. And it was signed in it took effect on July 1st, obviously. And the law authorizes Florida residents to carry a concealed firearm or other weapon without a concealed weapons permit, something they would have needed a concealed carry license prior to the new law going into effect. So simply what that means, you can have a conceal a weapon, and firearms, short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, any kind of handgun that you might be able to keep, whether it's a 7 inches or 20 inches, as long as it's concealed carry. Another part of that statement that we want to think about also, it says conceal firearms or other weapon. So the other weapon it's talking about is you're pretty much talking about give me 1 second, guys, are like those knuckle fist, knives, yeah, those, any other weapon that you can possibly. Sorry, lost the screen on my tablet, guys. So again, the weapons that this is talking about is any other weapons such as the knuckle fist, a knife. So it gives you a permit to carry those also, because in a lot of states you can carry a knife, period. And if you do have a concealed carry permit, the knife can be so many of inches of length or whatever it is. And it doesn't change that. It just means that it gives you the authority to carry that knife now with you without a permit. And like I said, it doesn't apply to everybody. There's certain things that goes into effect. As some of them are you have to be a resident of the United States. If you are not a permanent resident, a citizen, or a diplomatic resident here, then you obviously cannot carry it. So don't think that if you're just visiting from another country, whether you're from the Caribbean or Europe or wherever, you can come here and just buy a gun and just walk around with it just to defend yourself. You have to be a permanent resident of the state of Florida. And then, like I said earlier on, guys, constitutional carry does not mean open carry. So a lot of times people will see things like this and say, they don't read the fine prints, or they don't listen to the fine, information that's there. They hear constitutional carry, you can carry your firearms, and then they think that you can go around brandishing it. No, you cannot do open carry, but you can constitutional carry if you qualify to do so. So let's just break this down real quick so we can make the video short as possible and get to the point. So one of the first criteria for that is those under the age of 21, unless you're a member of the armed forces, cannot constitutional carry. So obviously, I think if you're 18 or if you're 18 or older, you can join the military. So if you're under 21, 20, 19, 18, then you can carry if you're in the armed forces. All right. So otherwise, you're not allowed to carry until you're 21. Not allowed to drink till you're 21. Same thing. That's just plain and simple. All right. So if you're of that age and and you have not read the fine print, you heard it here first, or you're hearing it officially here. You cannot constitutional carry unless you are above the age of 21, unless you are in the armed forces. All right. So next point, convicted felons. If you are convicted, again, just because we have a constitutional carry and the governor opened up and say, hey, you can carry, if you are a convicted felon, you cannot carry in the state of Florida. All right. Plain and simple. If you're convicted, if you're not sure and you feel like things were expunged and you're on the up and go, then get together with law enforcement, those people that are responsible for your case, your POs, whatever. Find out, hey, listen, this is my situation. I know stuff was expunged. I thought I was good to go, but am I able to constitutional carry? Because I want to be able to protect myself. They'll tell you right then and there if you qualify for that or no. So contact the various law enforcement department and whoever you need to talk to and figure out if you're allowed to carry a firearm if you're a convicted felon. All right, so the next point is those convicted of certain violent crimes, such as misdemeanor crimes or domestic violence. So it's this is more like a broad sense. Certain violent crime they didn't explain, but if you've been convicted of any violent crime, you need to find out if you are able to constitutional carry. More than likely, you are not, unless it's your file has been expunged and a judge gave you the right to go forth and and you have the right to now bear arms, and that went to court. It's been reviewed and passed by whoever that saw that case. So if you are convicted of any violent crimes, or should I say again, certain violent crimes such as misdemeanors, crimes of domestic violence, you are not able to conceal carry. So clear. All right, there's nothing not to understand there. Next point, people subject to domestic violence or repeat violence injunction. Again, people subject to a domestic violence or repeat violence injunction. All right, so if you're a habitual domestic violence perpetrator, okay, or you've been under a violence injunction that they say, hey, listen, you're just always getting into trouble, or just, it doesn't have to be domestic violence, but it could be violence in general. If you're always getting into fights, if you're always, stabbing somebody and getting away with it, you cannot have a concealed permit. In other words, they're saying you're too hot-tempered to have a firearm. Plain and simple, okay? There's nothing, if you don't want to understand that, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so the next one, those who have been committed by the courts to a mental institution or substance abuse faculty. All right, so if you have been abusing cocaine, crack, if they think that your abuse of marijuana is one of them, and they say, listen, man, this person is no longer fit to be among the normals of society, and you've been institutionalized, then you are not permitted to have constitutional carry here in the state of Florida. All right, so that's a no-brainer. And I know if those persons that are unstable or been committed to a mental institution for whatever the reason is, obviously sometimes these people don't think that they're mental, so they will hear this and still think that they're able to constitutional carry a firearm, and they might go ahead and do it anyways, because there's always access to firearms, whether the government bans it or not, whether people go by the legal routes or not. People who want to go out and fight and commit crimes, they're still gonna find these. They're still gonna find these firearms. So if you know somebody that has been committed to like a mental institution, and they've always wanted to, now that this is in effect, and you hear them talking about it, guys, talk to someone, talk to them, and find out where their mind is, and let them know, hey, listen, this doesn't apply to you. You might see it in the media, but this doesn't apply to you, unless they have some kind of injunction removed or something, But it says here, if you've been committed by the courts to a mental institution, or if the government said that, hey, you are not fit to carry this, then you are definitely not fit to constitutional carry. All right, so the next point, Florida residents found guilty of drug crimes or being an illegal drug user, including those who have a medical marijuana card. So if you have a medical marijuana card, I'm assuming that if you sell marijuana, if you have a medical marijuana, if a medical advisor or a medical professional say to you, okay, here's your medical marijuana card that you can use now. You can buy medical marijuana for medicinal purposes. You are not allowed to have a concealed permit. So that's pretty much what that means. If you are found guilty of drug crimes, if you've been found guilty of selling an copious amount of cocaine, crack, marijuana, or whatever the case might be, you are not allowed to have a concealed permit. And that's common sense, guys. That means if you are dealing in this kind of stuff, if you're a drug dealer, whatever the case may be, and you have a concealed permit, you're more likely, if the deal goes bad, to use that firearm either to defend yourself or settle a dispute. So, they put that into effect and say, hey, you're not allowed to do it. Not that people won't do it, but hey, I'm just saying what the law is. So that's the other point being made. And then we're going to move on to the next point. Now, and as I stated before, guys, you have to be a resident of the state of Florida. So again, if you're from another country and you come here to stay or to visit, you're not allowed to carry a firearm in the state of Florida. You have to be a resident, permanent resident, citizen, or diplomatic resident, meaning if you are a representative of another country, you have diplomatic immunities here, and yes, that extends to you. And again, the final point we're going to make now is that there's certain areas you can't take these concealed weapons into, and these are the same places you couldn't take them in the first place. So furthermore, the concealed carry law doesn't apply to the following areas. Obviously, you can't take them into churches. I think you can't take them into banks. You can't take them into just wherever you're not supposed to take those concealed carry. You still can't take them anymore. But then there's other places that you are allowed to take your weapons. So you can take your firearm into a sheriff's office, a police station, jails, and prison. Well, nobody wants to take these. Hold on one second. Yeah, sorry guys. So yeah, there's certain areas you can't take these firearm into, and they haven't changed over the years. Just because it's a concealed, you're allowed to carry. You have a concealed carry. That means you can just take them anywhere you want to. You can't take. You can't take them into a sheriff's office or a police station. You can't take them into jails or prison. That's common sense. You can't take them to the courthouse. Even if you wanted to take them to a courthouse, jail, or prison, you can't anyways. You're going to be turned back at check-in. You can't take them into polling places. Obviously, the political climate there is a little bit more charged than it is anywhere. So you really don't want to take somebody who's been denied a concealed carry and them take it there. I mean, if I go to a polling place, most of the times I have my concealed carry, and obviously that's just for self-defense. But obviously you cannot take it there. Meetings of governing bodies of a county, school district, municipality, or special district. Any government, institutions or buildings or so forth, you can't take them there. That's just common sense again. Schools, colleges, university and their administration buildings, obviously anything school where kids and college students are university, higher learning, you're not allowed to take it there. Bars where it can be charged because alcohol is involved, they don't want you to take it there. Passenger terminals of airports that Homeland Security can't take it inside an airport, check in on a plane, wherever. Post offices, another government building, as the one I stated before, governing bodies, schools, districts, municipality, post office, can't take it in there. And that means gun owners aren't allowed to conceal carry on the premises of the listed locations. So, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, guys. Concealed carry doesn't mean that everybody can carry. There are certain groups of people that are exited from that. You just can't, just because it's an open, constitutional carry, it mean that you can just carry a firearm all willy-nilly. And again, constitutional carry does not mean open carry. Just because you can constitutional carry it don't mean that you can brandish it. Everybody's got to see it in your waist, under your shirt. That is the same thing as open carry if you do that. If you are walking in the mall, whether you have a concealed permit or you have a constitutional carry, if everywhere you walk everybody can see the handle bulging and it's all in your pants and on your grip, you can be pulled aside by a police officer and you can get your constitutional carry removed, or if you're a concealed carry, you can get that taken away from you. You can't ever, not that you can't ever, but you'll get that taken away for a certain point in time. So know the rules that apply to HB 543, that went into effect July 1st here in Florida. And again, guys, I want you guys all to be safe. Follow the rules. The shooting sports is amazing. If a lot of those people that condemn firearms ever took the chance out to get to know a firearm and fire one and just use it in like a sporting capacity, I guarantee they'll love firearms and know that the firearm itself, I know it's super cliche that the firearms itself is not something that kills people, but obviously the users. And mental health plays a huge part in that. A lot of the shootings that happen here in the United States, to be honest with you, are not by law-abiding citizens that have that follow the rules and have their concealed permit and legally own these guns. These are by people that are mental health and people who do not own guns, but they'll have you believe that it's the people who who legally own these guns that are going out spraying up everywhere, and it's so not true. It's the people that are mentally unstable that are the ones that are going out giving the two-way community a bad name. And again, Florida is the 26th state to do that. I live here in Florida and I'm happy that they did. And if you guys are going to go ahead and conceal carry and you have the ability to do so responsibly. It doesn't give you the right to just solve every conflict that you get into with a firearm. It just gives you that right to stand your ground, and defend yourself and your family when you're out in public. And before you guys go out putting a gun in your waist, know the rules and the laws that apply to that to that course of action, because you don't want to be that type of person who thinks that you're able to conceal carry and for whatever reason you're not able to conceal carry. You go out and say you're somewhat defending yourself, right? And you're in the right way to defend yourself, but then you go ahead, injure someone, and then they find out, hey, this person is not even allowed to carry a firearm. Now you're in more trouble than you are when you were just trying to defend yourself. So if you're not able to conceal carry or constitutional carry, guys, and you want to do so, get in touch with your local, your local police department, legal lawyer, legal agency, whatever it is that to take you to get back to that point. And if you can't, you just can't. Just try to be out there and just, behave yourself in public and try to avoid any situation that might put you in that position where you might be fighting for your life. And I know those things can never be avoided, but if you can, you most definitely should. So again, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hope you find it somewhat informative. And I really wish you guys would subscribe to my channel. If you like my video, again, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share the video. Mr. Black Mamba 305 signing out. Boom!